I wanted to introduce you to a few new varieties of Camellia sasanqua, which are now in production at Burncoose Nurseries and which will be available for sale probably later this year. This is the first of them. This is Camellia sasanqua Sugar Dream. And we're filming this in the first week of January. The first Camellia sasanquas flower here at Cahays in early October, but the larger flowered forms don't really come into their own until November, December. And the more newer introductions, such as Sugar Dream, are only really at their best in Cornwall in January. So it may well be that if you were growing this at home further up country, you would see it at its best probably January, February time. You can see that it's a hybrid with sasanqua and something else because of the shape of the leaves and because the flowers are so much bigger than they would be in your ordinary run-of-the-mill sasanquas. There are huge improvements in the breeding of Camellia sasanqua, and this is certainly one of them, which is a great deal better than much that has gone before in terms of Hugh Evans, Dazzler, maybe even the Rumigata. This is a much bigger flower, many more stamens, and a really delicate double-flowered or double-ish flowered, semi-double pink form. And this is Camellia Gay Border, and you can see the pink on the outside of the petals. It opens out flat. It's a single, but it's a large single flower. And you don't really see the pink unless you look at the back of the flower buds. This sasanqua cross has been out for weeks and weeks, and we're just looking at a few of the tail end flowers. It was planted in about 2006 and it's now 10 foot tall. And it's a great deal better than the well-known Camellia sasanqua Rumigata, which also has pink on its buds and a little bit of pink on the tips of its petals. It's a much bigger flower, it's rather more robust, and its flower stands out much more on the bush. Also, the anther and stamens are much more extended than in the Rumigata, and all in all, it's a plant of the future and one which I'm sure customers of Burncoose Nurseries will be enjoying in their own gardens. This is probably first photographed in my garden diary towards the end of November, and we're now in the first week of January. And this is Camellia sasanqua, and I'm not sure I'm going to pronounce this right, Yoimachi, Yoimachi, which is another new variety which we've now got in propagation. It's a much smaller flower with a nice bit of pink on the frills on the edges of the petals. Very floriferous at a young age, as you can see, and I think it'll become more attractive with age, but it's certainly a bit different. And just down here we've got another Camellia sasanqua called Yume, Y-U-M-E, and this has a most peculiar variegation in the flowers, in that some of the petals are white, some are pink, and some are a bit of a mixture of the two. This one's nearly over, but if I can just show you a flower, whoops, in my hand, you can see that's pretty and it's different, and it would look very nice up against the wall, I think, in a garden. Certainly rather different. Perhaps a rather better known sasanqua hybrid is Camellia Yuletide, which has its name for very obvious reasons and has indeed been out a little before Christmas, in fact quite a bit before Christmas. It's not a huge flower, but it really is a gorgeous dark red, and the flowers go on flowering for ages and ages and ages. I would say about 3 months. You can see how the odd flower got frosted before Christmas and it's come back again. And as they open, wonderful contrast between the dark red flower and the dark green leaves. Very floriferous, nice, compact habit. Certainly a camellia to cheer up Christmas Day or New Year's Day. Doesn't have a flower out on time absolutely every year, but most years. And certainly a plant. If you're going to have any sasanqua, what could be better than Camellia sasanqua Yuletide?